In this video, we're going to unbox and assemble the Merit's P101, the Travelese powered mobility product. First thing is to check the model number and verify the serial number on the outside of the box. Secondly, after opening, please check the contents to make sure there wasn't any concealed damage during the freight process. All right, first step is to open the box and remove the contents. What you'll notice is that while there's a powered mobility product, there may be accessories in the box as well. We'll need to pull those out, we'll identify them, and show them how they fit onto the chair. So after unboxing, please make sure you verify that you have all the components necessary to assemble your Travelese. First is the power wheelchair assembly itself. Next you have two battery boxes, the joystick assembly, the charger, the front riggings, both left and right, also known as footrests, your anti-tippers, the locking pins for the battery tray, as well as the bolts to assemble the backrest, along with the owner's manual and the limited warranty card. So the first step in assembling your Travelese P101 is to open the wheelchair, and we'll need to slide it around because the next step is going to be to assemble the battery tray. Once the chair is open, we'll undo the battery straps, and the next step in the process is to assemble the battery tray. It's important to note which direction to put it in. The short end goes towards the front of the chair, and we will align those with the receivers on either side of the chair. So once the battery frame's in place, the next step is to install the batteries. You'll notice on the battery boxes they're a little bit different. The one that goes in first is the battery box that has both the negative and the positive lead. These simply drop into and slide on the frame. The second battery box will slide and drop onto the frame. The next step is to connect the batteries. Next is to make sure the red connectors are connected together. Next, each battery has a battery strap to hold the batteries in place. Simply make those two connections. The next step is to assemble the joystick. Simply take the joystick, slide it into the receiver, and for now, just tighten with a thumb screw to make sure it's connected. Next, you'll see three connectors at the end of the joystick cable. One is the black battery connector to connect to the other black on the side of the battery. The other two are the motor connectors. You'll notice one left and one right. The left motor connector goes to the left motor. The right motor connector goes to the right motor. Left motor connector and the right motor connector. One other adjustment is necessary sometimes is to adjust the length of the joystick to make sure it's comfortable for the end user. To be able to change the location of the joystick, simply loosen the thumb screw and slide the joystick in and out to the most comfortable position. Typically, the joystick with your arms rested on the headrest should be between your thumb and your forefinger to make sure you can fully manipulate the joystick. Once it's in the correct position, just tighten up the thumb screw and you're good to go. In this configuration, we're showing a right side joystick, but also during the assembly, if you're a left-hand driver, there is also a receiver on the left-hand armrest to be able to install the joystick on the left-hand side of the wheelchair. After assembling your joystick, you want to make sure that the joystick cable is attached to the frame using the tie wraps that are in the owner's manual to be able to make sure that they don't catch on any obstacles as you're driving through. Once you have the tie wraps assembled, the best way is to simply take the excess and trim off the excess and discard those pieces. Next, we'll install the anti-tippers. Push pins simply insert into the rear of the frame until they click into place, both the left and the right sides. Next is to assemble the backrest. The backrest itself, there's 2 screws with 2 washers, and those are attached using a 4mm hex or 4mm Allen wrench. So simply take the back assembly, install the backrest into the backrest receivers. Don't worry about the upholstery at the moment. We'll deal with that here in just a second. So once those are installed, you're able to adjust the back height from 15 to 19 inches depending on who is using the chair. Once the backrest is installed, the bottom of the back upholstery is a privacy slat. Simply fold that underneath the seat upholstery and the Velcro will hold it in place. Next, we'll install the footrest, or what are commonly called front riggings. These are a pin and saddle style, so you simply take the saddle, rest them onto the pin, and move them into position, both the left and the right. With your travelese comes a calf strap. This simply slides on to the back of the right-hand side to be able to keep your feet firmly on the footrests. When necessary, to be able to make adjustments to the length of your footrests, there's a set screw here. Simply loosen the set screw and you'll be able to extend the foot plate out to better meet the needs of an individual consumer. And finally, your travelese comes with an off-board battery charger. To plug in the charger, take the 3-pin XLR connector, simply connect it into the joystick, and connect your plug into the wall outlet. If you're using a switched outlet, please remember to make sure the power is on to that switch to make sure your travelese gets a proper charge. Once your travelese is assembled, for operations, simply press the power button on the joystick. At the top, you'll see 5 LED lights, which is your battery gauge, or your fuel gauge, if you will, that shows you your battery charge. All 5 LEDs indicated will show a full charge, and as the chair discharges over time with use, you'll see the fuel gauge tend to go down. Once the red light is by itself, you'll know that you're pretty well close to running out of battery, and then once it flashes, you're real close to running out of battery, so make sure you plug it into a charger. Also on the joystick is a speed potentiometer. It takes the forward speed and breaks it into 5 separate components from slowest to fastest, as well as a horn. Operations of the joystick are much like the accelerator on a car. It is a proportional joystick in the sense that if I just push it a little bit, it'll just go a little bit. So I have forward, reverse, left, right in any 360-degree increment. And to power off, simply press the power button. Your Merit's travelese comes with adjustable height flick back armrest. To adjust the arm height, simply release the connector here and adjust it until it clicks into the spot where it's most comfortable for you. As well, if you need to do lateral transfers and get those armrests out of the way, simply press the release lever here and the armrest will fold back. Once you're ready to travel again, simply connect it back into place. Your travelese also features a freewheel release lever for each wheel or each motor on either side of the chair. To be able to drive the chair, the release levers need to be engaged, and you're really not able to push the chair. If you do need to manually push the chair for either storage or manual propulsion, simply slide the levers towards the outside. That will release the motors and the travelese freely rolls. Okay. Lastly, your footrests are swing out footrest or what are called front riggings. To simply swing away to get them out of the way if you're doing a stand and pivot transfer, simply release the lever and the front riggings will swing out of the way. They can also be easily removed. Finally, when operating your Travelese, make sure you're always wearing your safety belt. Thank you for viewing this video on how to operate your Merit's powered mobility product.